Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have a very, very useful intermediate level lesson for you all about the weather.
That's right. So obviously we have seen the news, and sometimes on the news we have the weather report. So today we're going to learn all about that weather report in English.
So let's check out today's dialogue, and we'll be back in a moment to talk about the words and phrases that those weather forecasters used.
And those are today's top stories. Now let's go to John for the weather. John, what does the forecast look like for our weekend travelers?
I'm afraid we're in for a rough weekend, Mary. There's a storm system moving through the East Coast. It will be drizzling all day today, and there's a 60% chance of thunderstorms this evening. It will be warm and humid all weekend. In the Midwest, expect strong winds and a low of around 40 degrees.
That's pretty chilly for the summer. Will it rain on Saturday?
Unfortunately, yes. It will be clear early Saturday morning, but there is a high chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the day. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for some parts of the southeast. Folks in those areas might see some hail and flooding, especially in areas that have been experiencing record-high rainfalls.
That certainly sounds like a dreary Saturday.
It gets better on Sunday, though. The storm systems move east and the skies will clear up at night. It will still be rather cool with highs in the low 50s. The west coast will be experiencing some unusually chilly weather, but at least the sun will come out. I advise weekend travelers to be careful, especially while driving. Back to you, Mary.
Thanks, John. And there you have it. Looks like it's a weekend to stay at home.
All right, we're back. So apparently they're not going to have great weather this weekend, and they actually started with an interesting word. And actually the commentator started with asking the weatherman, John, what does the forecast look like for our weekend?
Okay, so the word here, forecast, is very, very important because it describes this part of the newscast. A forecast is basically a prediction or a description of the future weather situation.
That's right. So we're talking about the weather forecast. Now, it's very interesting because we can also use that in business. For example, in budgets, you can say, what is the financial forecast of the company?
All right. So you can't know what will happen, but you can predict it. And that's what a forecast is.
That's right. So we're talking about the weather forecast. And the weatherman said that, well, there's some storms coming and it will be drizzling all day.
Okay, so to drizzle is a verb, and it's like the verb to rain, except it's less by degree. So
it's very light rain.
Yeah, it's kind of like if I spray you with water from a spray can or something. It's like drizzle. It's just little dots of water. It's
That's
not
right.
like you're getting wet.
You don't really have the normal heavy raindrops. You just have a little bit of water coming down.
But it's annoying because do you bring your umbrella? Do you leave your umbrella? So drizzling is a kind of rain that's very, very light.
That's right. All right, so it's going to drizzle all day. And the weatherman also said that we might have some thunderstorms.
Okay, so thunderstorms are very different. Thunderstorms are a kind of storm where there is thunder. So thunder is the loud noises when there's lightning.
The lightning, okay. So lightning is like the flash that you get from the sky, and thunder is the hard sound that comes after.
The boom.
That's right.
Yeah, so remember, lightning. Light is the light that comes down from the sky, lightning. And thunderstorms are just those loud noises that the lightning makes.
So usually with thunderstorms, we have very heavy rain.
That's right. And that's why it's different from drizzling, which is very light.
Okay. Now, we're talking about water. We have drizzle. We have thunderstorm. Now, what about a shower? Because the weatherman said there is a high chance of showers.
Well, yes, there's a high chance of showers. I take showers every day. Thank you very much. But that's not the kind of shower we're talking about here, is it?
That's right.
Think about it, though. It's similar. A shower, when you wash yourself, is water coming down on top of you. Well, in this case, it's a rain shower. So it's rain that's happening.
Okay, so it's rainwater that's coming down, very similar to the shower that you take in the morning.
The difference, though, is that a shower is a noun and to rain is a verb. So it will rain tomorrow, or we expect showers tomorrow. Both mean the same thing.
All right, very good. And, well, talking about showers and thunderstorms, there's also another type of water that falls from the sky. This is called hail.
Okay, so hail is difficult to describe because it's like ice, but it's not really. It's just usually hard, almost like marbles, like hard balls of rain that come down. So it's not snow.
That's right.
It hurts when it hits you. Sometimes it's very big, sometimes it's very small, but it's heavy, hard things that come out of the clouds.
Yeah, so just think about it. It's very, very similar to ice. It's the small pieces of ice coming down from the sky. So that's hail, but obviously very different from snow because, as we said, it's hard. Snow is very soft.
Yes.
And, well, with this type of weather going on the weekend, the commentator said, wow, that certainly sounds like a dreary Saturday.
Okay, dreary is a great word to describe it. So as you can tell, it's going to rain. Dreary is not a good thing. It's not a happy thing.
Okay.
So something is dreary when it's not very exciting. It looks like it'll be dull or sad or boring or dark.
Now, can you describe a person like this as well?
Yes, he's a very dreary person. He's never optimistic. He's always down and, kind of quiet and sad and down.
Boring.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it means. Something that's boring, not very exciting, or very calm.
But also dark. There's a dark element to it because something is dreary. There's no sunshine, there's no light, there's no optimism.
So you can say it's a dreary day.
Yeah, very dreary day today. No light, no sunshine.
Okay, very good. We've taken a look at a lot of vocab there. Why don't we review what we've just learned and listen to the dialogue again?
And those are today's top stories. Now let's go to John for the weather. John, what does the forecast look like for our weekend travelers?
I'm afraid we're in for a rough weekend, Mary. There's a storm system moving through the East Coast. It will be drizzling all day today, and there's a 60% chance of thunderstorms this evening. It will be warm and humid all weekend. In the Midwest, expect strong winds and a low of around 40 degrees.
That's pretty chilly for the summer. Will it rain on Saturday?
Unfortunately, yes. It will be clear early Saturday morning, but there is a high chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the day. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for some parts of the southeast. Folks in those areas might see some hail and flooding, especially in areas that have been experiencing record-high rainfalls.
That certainly sounds like a dreary Saturday.
It gets better on Sunday, though. The storm systems move east and the skies will clear up at night. It will still be rather cool with highs in the low 50s. The west coast will be experiencing some unusually chilly weather, but at least the sun will come out. I advise weekend travelers to be careful, especially while driving. Back to you, Mary.
Thanks, John. And there you have it. Looks like it's a weekend to stay at home.
All right, we're back. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some phrases that we've chosen for you on Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
So when we're talking about forecasts, remember that we're talking about things that aren't certain. We have to explain that there is a possibility of rain or a possibility of sunshine. And usually in the weather report, they will use percentages to describe how likely something is to happen.
That's right. The weatherman said there is a 60% chance of thunderstorms.
Okay, so 60% is not very likely, but it's also not unlikely. It means that it might happen that it rains.
That's right. So, as you said, it's a way to measure what the probabilities are. Because imagine if the weatherman says it might rain tomorrow, you're like, well, maybe it really will, or maybe it's very unlikely that it won't, or we don't really know.
Exactly. So, for example, if the weatherman says there's a 95% chance of rain tomorrow, do you bring your umbrella?
Yes.
What if he says there's a 5% chance of rain tomorrow?
No.
So you have to think about the probability. 60%, it's maybe half and half. But 95%, it's very likely to happen.
That's right. And he also mentioned there's a high chance of thunderstorms, or maybe you can say there's a low chance of hail.
Right. So he's basically saying, he or she is basically saying, you know, it's possible that this will happen, or it's not likely this will happen. They're trying to help you out. They can't say this will happen because they don't know.
Okay, so the word for probability here, the key word is chance. There is a good chance that it will rain. So chance is probability.
Right. So, for example, what's the chance it will rain tomorrow? Well, there's a high chance.
Okay, very good. Okay, and now when we talk about the degrees or the how warm or cold it is, so we express it in Fahrenheit in some countries or in other countries in centigrade. Here we talk about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. But the weatherman also says highs and lows. There's a low of around 40 degrees. What does he mean, a low?
This is a really important part of the forecast because you need to know, will you have to bring a coat tomorrow? Is it going to be hot or cold? And so you think about a day, usually during the day at noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it's the hottest. But at night, it's the coldest. And so the low refers to the lowest temperature and the high refers to the highest temperature. So for example, in the fall, maybe the highs are 60 degrees. But the lows are 40, so you should bring a coat.
Okay.
Means at night it'll be 40, and during the day it'll be 60.
Okay, so we're talking about the highs are the highest temperatures or the highest number that we'll get, and the lows is the lowest. So the weatherman will commonly say, tomorrow we'll experience a high of 32 degrees and a low of 25.
Right. So it's very easy to understand that the temperature during the day will be between these two numbers.
Right. Very good. Okay. And for our last phrase, the weatherman also said that there is a severe thunderstorm warning for some parts of the southeast.
All right. So, Marco, this is a really key phrase because it is it's telling people about potential danger. You know, a thunderstorm can be very dangerous, so you want to stay inside. So a severe thunderstorm warning, severe means very, very serious, is something you should pay attention to.
That's right. But now, the interesting thing is that we can change the noun, in this case, thunderstorm, and we can talk about, for example, a severe tornado warning.
All right, so if there's a severe tornado warning, then I really have to pay attention to the weather and be careful not to go outside. Or even a severe flood warning. You need to know that the streets might become flooded and prepare.
So they're saying that there's a very high probability that this might happen, so they're warning you to take precaution.
All right, so pay attention to that last one. And we're going to listen to today's dialogue one more time. We'll be back in a moment to talk a little bit more about the weather.
And those are today's top stories. Now let's go to John for the weather. John, what does the forecast look like for our weekend travelers?
I'm afraid we're in for a rough weekend, Mary. There's a storm system moving through the East Coast. It will be drizzling all day today, and there's a 60% chance of thunderstorms this evening. It will be warm and humid all weekend. In the Midwest, expect strong winds and a low of around 40 degrees.
That's pretty chilly for the summer. Will it rain on Saturday?
Unfortunately, yes. It will be clear early Saturday morning, but there is a high chance of showers and thunderstorms later in the day. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for some parts of the southeast. Folks in those areas might see some hail and flooding, especially in areas that have been experiencing record-high rainfalls.
That certainly sounds like a dreary Saturday.
It gets better on Sunday, though. The storm systems move east and the skies will clear up at night. It will still be rather cool with highs in the low 50s. The west coast will be experiencing some unusually chilly weather, but at least the sun will come out. I advise weekend travelers to be careful, especially while driving. Back to you, Mary.
Thanks, John. And there you have it. Looks like it's a weekend to stay at home.
All right, so talking about the weather, it always seems like the weatherman is always wrong.
Always. It's like the opposite of what should happen.
That's right.
But you can't blame them because all they have is a computer and some sensors and they have to guess about the weather and help people figure out what to do.
Have you ever experienced anything severe like a hard thunderstorm or maybe a tornado or something like this?
I have actually because I'm from Chicago and in America the middle of the country is called the tornado belt. That means it's a piece of land where tornadoes are very common. And so in the fall and in the spring we often have tornadoes and I've been in a couple tornadoes myself.
Oh, wow. Have you seen them?
Yes.
Is it amazing to see?
They're very scary. You're always running inside and locking yourself in the basement. It's very important to protect yourself in a tornado because it's It's very dangerous around the area of the tornado because the wind is so strong that trucks and cars and telephone poles and big heavy objects can fly through the air and hurt people. And that's
right.
how most of the damage happens.
Okay, so this is interesting because a tornado is also considered a natural disaster.
Yes, it is.
But it's a weather phenomenon, whereas earthquakes are a natural disaster, but it's not part of the weather.
No, yeah, you're right. It's not something that it sweeps in and it leaves. Like a flood, for example, all of the rain will come down and it will create a flood. An earthquake is a natural disaster that's not weather related.
That's right. Okay, interesting thing. So maybe some of our listeners that live in a very cold area have experienced a heavy snowstorm.
Like a blizzard.
Like a blizzard. Or maybe people in a tropical area have experienced a hurricane. So let us know if you've ever been in one of these weather-related phenomenons. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Scared. Afraid. A light fall of rain. Drizzle. Fall of rain accompanied by lightning and thunder. Thunderstorm. Probability. Chance. Rain that is frozen into chunks of ice. Hail.
Let's try that faster.
Rain that is frozen into chunks of ice. Hail. Probability. Chance. A light fall of rain. Drizzle. Scared. Afraid. Fall of rain accompanied by lightning and thunder. Thunderstorm.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Afraid. The project is due tomorrow, but he just gave it to us this morning. I'm afraid we're in for a long night. Afraid. I'm sorry, I'm afraid you misunderstood me. Afraid. I'm afraid that I can't make it tonight. I've made other plans. Drizzle. It's drizzling outside, so you should take your umbrella when you go out. Drizzle. It's not raining hard, just a light drizzle. Drizzle. I like to drizzle some maple syrup on my pancakes. Thunderstorm. We planned to have a picnic in the park, but the weather report said there would be a thunderstorm today. Thunderstorm. My little sister is terrified of lightning. She always cries during the thunderstorms. Thunderstorm. It's dangerous to go out with an umbrella during the thunderstorm. Hail. There's a 70% chance of rain today, so it might not be the best day to go to the beach. Hail. You have a high chance of getting the job. The boss seems to like you. Hail. If you are careful and follow the rules, you have a very small chance of hurting yourself rock climbing. Hail. There is a chance that it will hail today, so we should stay inside. Hail. The last time it hailed, the roof of my car was badly damaged. Hail. It's hailing really badly outside. The hail is the size of tennis balls.
I'm Tom, and I'm happy you're here. In this episode, I speak slowly. I use clear, simple words. And I repeat ideas so you can shadow my voice, practice your speaking, and build your confidence step by step. Today, we will talk about how to describe your day in English. Not just short sentences, but full ideas. What do you do in the morning? What happens in your afternoon? What is your evening routine like? By the end of this episode, you will be able to talk about your day in English using clear and natural sentences. Let's begin. Why is it important to practice talking about your day in English? It's important because your day is real. It's something that happens to you every day. You know it well. You don't need to search for words or ideas. You don't need to talk about history, science, or politics. You just need to talk about your life. You can say what time you wake up, what you eat for breakfast. You can say if you go to work or stay at home. You can say how you feel, tired, busy, happy, or relaxed. And here's the best part. When you describe your own day, you're practicing real English, useful English, English that you can use with other people in real life. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to try. When you talk about your day, you begin to think in English. You begin to speak more naturally. You use simple, complete sentences. You stop translating in your head. And you feel more confident when speaking. Let's take an example. Imagine you are meeting someone new. They ask, "What did you do today?" What did you do today? If you've practiced talking about your day before, you can answer. You can say, "I woke up at 7. I went to work. I had coffee and answered emails. In the evening, I made dinner and watched TV." Now, that's a full conversation. That's real communication. And that is your goal. Even if you are alone, even if you're not in an English class, even if you are shy, you can still practice speaking English by talking about your day. So, whenever you don't know what to say, start with something simple. What did I do today? What time did I wake up? What did I eat? Where did I go? What did I do in the evening? These are good questions. They help you remember vocabulary. They help you build strong English habits. They help you think in full sentences without stress. You can do this in the morning to talk about yesterday. You can do this in the evening to review today. You can even record yourself and listen back. The key is to keep it simple. Use the English you know. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes. One sentence today, 2 sentences tomorrow, a whole story next week. So today, let's build that skill together, step by step, word by word, one real sentence at a time. Okay, let's start at the beginning of the day, the morning. Morning is a very important part of your day. It sets the mood. It gives you energy. And it's a perfect time to speak and think in English, even for a few minutes. Now, let's practice some simple morning sentences together. Repeat each one slowly, just like shadowing. Let's go. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Now you repeat. Sometimes I wake up earlier, around 6:30, when I have a lot to do. Now you repeat. If I sleep late, I feel tired the next morning. I stay in bed for a few minutes and think about my day. I like to take a deep breath and stretch my arms and legs. Then I sit up slowly and get out of bed. I walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth. I brush slowly and carefully for 2 minutes. Then I wash my face with cold water. It helps me feel awake. Sometimes I take a quick shower, especially if I feel sleepy. When I shower, I like to play soft music or listen to English audio. After my shower, I dry off and put on my clothes. I try to wear something clean and comfortable. Sometimes I wear jeans and a t-shirt. If I have a meeting or class, I wear something more formal. Next, I go to the kitchen and prepare my breakfast. I usually eat something simple, like toast, eggs, and fruit. Sometimes I have cereal with milk and a banana. If I have more time, I make an omelette or oatmeal. I like to eat slowly so I can enjoy my food. I drink coffee most mornings. Sometimes I drink green tea because it feels light and fresh. While eating, I sometimes watch a short video or check the news. Other days, I just enjoy the quiet and listen to birds outside. Before I leave the house, I check my phone. I look at the time and read my messages. I check my calendar to see if I have any meetings or appointments. I pack my bag with everything I need: my phone, notebook, keys, and water bottle. Then I put on my shoes and go out the door. Okay, let's shadow a story. My morning routine. In this part, I will tell you a short story about my morning. You can listen, then shadow each sense. You can pause after each line to repeat it slowly. Are you ready? Let's begin. In the morning, I usually wake up at around 7 o'clock. Sometimes I wake up earlier if I have a lot of things to do. I lie in bed for a few minutes and think about the day ahead. I stretch my arms, yawn a little, and slowly get up. Then I walk to the bathroom and brush my teeth for 2 full minutes. After that, I wash my face with cold water. It really helps me wake up. If I feel sleepy, I take a warm shower. I often listen to relaxing music while I shower. It helps me feel more calm and focused. After the shower, I put on clean clothes and check my hair in the mirror. Next, I go into the kitchen and start making breakfast. I usually eat 2 pieces of toast with butter and jam, and sometimes I add a boiled egg. I drink a large cup of coffee. That's very important to me in the morning. While eating, I sit by the window and look outside. Sometimes I hear birds singing, and I enjoy the peaceful moment. Before I leave the house, I check my phone. I look at the time, my to-do list, and my schedule for the day. Then I prepare my bag. I make sure I have everything: my phone, my wallet, my notebook, and sometimes a snack. Finally, I put on my jacket and shoes, open the door, and step outside to begin my day. Okay, let's say a few final practice sentences together. Again, you can repeat right after me. Every morning is a little different, but I try to follow a good routine. When I start my day with English, I feel more focused. I'm proud of my progress, and I will keep going. Now let's move to the afternoon, the middle part of the day. Many people are busy in the afternoon. Some people go to work, some go to school, Some stay home and take care of the house or family. Whatever you do, the afternoon is a good time to use English. Even if you're busy, you can still listen. You can still repeat. You can still practice, even for just 5 or 10 minutes. Let's learn some common sentences together. Try to repeat after me, slowly and clearly. After lunch, I go back to work. Sometimes I feel a little sleepy after I eat. I check my emails and answer the important ones first. I often read messages from coworkers or classmates. I usually have 1 or 2 meetings in the afternoon. Sometimes I meet with a client or my manager to talk about tasks. If I work from home, I sit at my desk and open my laptop. I type reports or prepare presentations. I also look at my calendar to see what I need to do next. I like to keep my desk clean and organized. It helps me think clearly. I usually take a short break around 3 o'clock. I make a cup of tea or drink some water. Sometimes I eat a small snack, like fruit or a biscuit. If I have time, I go for a short walk to get fresh air. Even 10 minutes outside helps me feel better. If the weather is nice, I walk around the block or sit in the sun. When I have free time in the afternoon, I study English. Sometimes I listen to a podcast while I take a walk. Other times, I read a short article or story online. I also watch slow English videos to help with listening. I repeat short phrases out loud to practice speaking. Shadowing helps me speak more fluently and clearly. Before I finish work, I write down what I did. This helps me stay organized and ready for the next day. Sometimes I write one new word I learned today. I like to review my English notebook before I stop for the day. I will now tell you a story about my afternoon. You can listen, pause, and repeat after me. Try to copy my rhythm and tone. This is a great way to shadow and learn. After lunch, I usually go back to my desk to continue working. I check my emails and write a to-do list for the afternoon. I often have a video meeting with my team. We talk about what we finished in the morning and what we will do next. The meetings are usually short, about 30 minutes. After the meeting, I take a short break. I walk to the kitchen and make a cup of tea or black coffee. I drink slowly while standing near the window. Sometimes I step outside for some fresh air. If I have free time, I use it to study English. I usually listen to a podcast like this one, or read a short story. Sometimes I watch a video where the speaker talks slowly. I pause the video and repeat the sentences. This is shadowing. It helps me speak more naturally and understand better. Before I stop working for the day, I write down a short summary of what I did. I also write one sentence in English to describe how I feel. For example, I finished all my work today and I feel proud. I didn't study much today, but I will try again tomorrow. This helps me reflect and stay motivated. Okay, now it's your turn. You can pause this episode for a moment. Try to talk about your afternoon, just like I did. What do you usually do after lunch? Do you go to work? Do you go to class? Do you stay at home and rest or study? Use short sentences. It's okay if it's just 3 or 4 lines. The goal is to speak, not to be perfect. Okay, let's try some sentence starters together to help you speak. I will say the beginning of the sentences, and you try to complete them, okay? In the afternoon, I usually... Very good. After lunch, I like to... Good job. Sometimes I feel... Well done. I usually take a break at... Perfect. Before the afternoon ends, I... Very good. Okay, the evening and night. Evening is a special time, a time to relax and review the day. Let's repeat some useful sentences. I come home at 6 o'clock in the evening. I take off my shoes and sit down for a few minutes to rest. I sometimes watch the news or listen to music to relax. I cook dinner or I order food if I feel tired. I eat dinner at the table with my family. We talk about our day and share stories. After dinner, I clean the kitchen and wash the dishes. Sometimes, I go for a short walk after dinner. Before bed, I read a book or listen to calming music. I take a shower and brush my teeth. I go to bed around 10:30 or 11. Okay, You have just listened to my full routine. Now I want you to speak about your day. Here's how you can do it. First, think about your day. What time do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? Do you work, study, take care of the house? What do you do in the afternoon? What does your evening look like? What do you do before bed? You can speak about today, or you can talk about a typical day, a normal day. Great work today. You listened to a full diary routine. You practiced new vocabulary. You repeated full sentences. And most importantly, you tried to speak in English. This is real progress. You're not just studying English. You are using English. You are living in English, one sentence at a time. Keep building your confidence. Keep practicing your daily routine until it feels easy. Now, come back to this episode often. Listen again, shadow again, and each time add more to your story.